My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm 27 years old. 12 years ago, on a freezing December night in Portland, my father looked me straight in the eye and said, "Pack your things. I don't want a liar like you under my roof." I was 15, standing in our hallway with nowhere to go. The reason? My younger sister told a lie. A vicious, calculated lie that my parents believed without hesitation. And just like that, I was erased from their lives. 2 hours later, police found me unconscious in an alley. I'd been attacked trying to find shelter. When my father walked into that emergency room and saw who was sitting beside my hospital bed, his face went completely white. You can't be here. How did you?" The woman sitting there was Dr. Catherine Hayes, one of the most influential educators in Oregon. She'd found me bleeding and alone, and that night, she saved more than just my life. Last month, I stood on stage at my sister's college graduation as the guest speaker. My parents had no idea I'd be there. Before I tell you what happened when they finally saw me, I want you to imagine something. Imagine being told by the people who brought you into this world that you're worthless. That you're the problem. That everything would be better without you. Now imagine proving them so wrong that they can't even look you in the eye. That's where this story goes. But first, let me take you back to where the nightmare really began. I learned early that in our house, Emma's drama always drowned out my achievements. When I was 10, I won the state spelling bee. I'd studied for months, practiced every night, learned words I couldn't even pronounce at first. I came home with that trophy, burst through the door, and found Mom making dinner. I won. I shouted, holding up the trophy like it was made of solid gold. She smiled, hugged me quickly. "That's wonderful, honey." Then Emma walked in from soccer practice. 9 years old, tears streaming down her face, lip trembling. Coach yelled at me in front of everyone. Everyone laughed. Mom's arms left me instantly. She knelt down, pulled Emma close, whispered soothing words while Emma sobbed into her shoulder. My trophy sat on the counter. Nobody asked to see it again. That became the pattern. Emma was sensitive. Emma needed more attention. Emma required careful handling. I learned to make myself smaller, quieter, less demanding. By the time I was 13, I'd stopped showing them my report cards. Straight A's couldn't compete with Emma's C- meltdown. When I got accepted into the Pacific Youth Science Academy, I was thrilled. Full scholarship, 3 weeks studying marine biology with actual oceanographers. Dad glanced up from his laptop. "That's nice, Sarah." Emma burst into tears immediately. "Why does she get everything? That's not fair. I never get to do anything special." Mom squeezed Emma's hand, shot me that look. That look that said, "Don't make this harder. Sarah, maybe you could defer until next year. Your sister really needs you here this summer. She's struggling with." "I need you," Emma finished, her voice breaking perfectly on cue. I didn't go to the academy. They called it family solidarity. I called it learning my place, which was always second. But I told myself I could survive. Just 5 more years until college. I could make it 5 more years. I was wrong about that timeline. The lying started small, like it always does. Emma would borrow my clothes without asking, then deny it even when I found them in her hamper. "I never touched your sweater. You're being paranoid." Mom would sigh, exhausted. "Sarah, please. Don't start fights over nothing." Then $50 went missing from Mom's purse. Emma said she saw me near Mom's wallet that morning. I'd been at school early for a lab project, but facts didn't matter. Dad called me into his office, his face hard. "Did you take money from your mother?" "No. I wasn't even home." "Emma says you were." Then Emma's lying. His jaw clenched. "Don't accuse your sister of lying. That's a serious accusation." "But I didn't." "Enough." His hand slammed the desk. "I'm disappointed in you, Sarah. I thought we raised you better. I lost my phone for 2 months. The internship I'd been promised for the following summer? Gone. We can't trust you with independence right now, Mom explained, her voice filled with that disappointed tone that cut deeper than anger. From the stairs, I saw Emma watching. When our parents looked away, she smiled at me. Just for a second. A cold, calculated smile that told me everything I needed to know. She knew exactly what she was doing. The pattern escalated. Every few months, something new. A broken family heirloom? My fault. Emma's failing grade? I should have helped her study more. A rumor at school that Emma had cheated on a test? Obviously, I started it out of jealousy. I stopped defending myself. What was the point? They believed her tears over my truth every single time. By 15, I felt invisible in my own home. I existed only when they needed someone to blame. I started spending every possible minute at the library, at school, anywhere but that house. I told myself I just needed to hold on until graduation. 2 more years. I could survive 2 more years. I had no idea how wrong I was. December, sophomore year. Everything felt heavy that week, like something bad was building and I couldn't see it coming. There was this guy at school named Tyler. He was in my AP chemistry class, captain of the debate team, terrible at balancing chemical equations. He'd asked me for help a few times, and I'd stayed after class to explain molecular structures. That was it. Just homework help, nothing more. But Emma had a crush on him. A massive, all-consuming crush. She'd memorized his schedule, practiced writing Emma Mitchell Walker in different fonts in her notebook. I'd seen it when I returned her calculator. On Thursday, Tyler caught me at my locker. Hey, thanks for yesterday. You literally saved my grade. I smiled. No problem. Anytime. Maybe we could study together for the midterm? I could really use the help. Sure. Library works for me. Cool. I'll text you. He walked away, and I turned to grab my biology textbook. That's when I saw her. Emma, standing 30 feet down the hallway, staring at me with this look on her face. Not anger. Something colder. She turned and walked away without saying a word. That night at dinner, she barely spoke. Just pushed her food around her plate, wouldn't make eye contact with anyone. Mom kept asking if she was okay, if something happened at school, if she was feeling sick. Emma would just shrug, say nothing, stare at her plate. I should have known. I should have recognized that Emma's silence was more dangerous than her tears. On Tuesday, I had a guest speaker in my biology class. Dr. Catherine Hayes from Portland State University, talking about education reform and equal access to college prep programs. I stayed after to ask questions about her research. She seemed impressed, handed me her business card. You have a remarkable mind, she said. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The world needs thinkers like you. I smiled, thanked her, had no idea she'd save my life a week later. That Friday, the temperature dropped to 20 degrees. Everyone was preparing for the snowstorm they'd been predicting all week. Emma still wasn't talking to me. Wouldn't even look at me. I remember thinking, at least I'll have a quiet weekend to finish my English essay. I had no idea what she was planning. Friday night, the snow started around 7. We ate dinner in this oppressive silence. The weather alert kept buzzing on Dad's phone. Winter storm warning, roads closing, everyone stay inside. Emma picked at her chicken, and I could feel her watching me. Every time I glanced up, she'd look away quickly. After dinner, I went upstairs to my room, opened my laptop to work on my essay about The Great Gatsby. Outside, I could hear the wind picking up, snow hitting my window in waves. Around 8:30, I heard crying downstairs. Emma. Loud, gasping sobs that echoed through the whole house. I froze, my hands hovering over my keyboard. Mom's voice, soothing and concerned. Sweetheart, what's wrong? Talk to me, baby. More crying. Louder now. Sarah. Dad's voice cut through the house like a knife. Get down here. Now. My stomach dropped. I saved my document, closed my laptop, walked slowly down the stairs. Each step felt like walking toward an execution. Emma was on the couch, face buried in Mom's shoulder, body shaking with sobs. Mom stroked her hair, whispered comfort. Dad stood by the fireplace, arms crossed, face red with anger. What's going on? I asked, my voice coming out smaller than I intended. Emma looked up, eyes swollen and red from crying. She looked at me, and for just a split second, I saw something else behind those tears. Something cold and satisfied. Then it was gone, replaced by more tears. Tell her, Dad said, his voice like ice. Tell her what you told us. Emma's lip trembled. Why do you hate me so much, Sarah? My mind went completely blank. What? I don't hate you. Then why? She hiccuped, sobbed harder. Why have you been spreading horrible rumors about me at school? Telling people I'm a slut? That I cheat on everything? That I'm crazy? The floor tilted under my feet. Emma, I didn't spread any rumors. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to her, Mom said quietly, and there was something in her voice I'd never heard before. Something final. Just don't lie anymore. I'm not lying. I didn't do anything. Emma pulled out her phone with shaking hands. Then explain this. She showed Mom a screenshot. Some group chat with messages I supposedly sent. Vicious, cruel things about Emma. Things I would never even think, let alone say. But there was my name, my profile picture, my words. I didn't write those, I said, my voice shaking now. Someone's faking my account. Someone's trying to. Stop, Dad interrupted. Just stop with the excuses. I'm not making excuses. This isn't real. And Tyler, Emma whispered, fresh tears rolling down her cheeks. You knew I liked him. You knew. But you've been throwing yourself at him, staying after class, meeting him alone. He told his friend Jake that he thinks you're pretty. Do you have any idea how that made me feel? We're study partners, I said desperately. That's all. Just chemistry homework. You tried to steal him from me. Emma stood up now, her voice rising. And last week you pushed me down the stairs at school. Look. She pulled up her sleeve. A bruise on her forearm, dark purple and ugly. I stared at it, my mouth opening and closing. I never touched you. Emma, I swear to God, I never. You did, Mom said, standing up, moving between us like she was protecting Emma from me. Sarah, if you hurt your sister, this is beyond serious. This is. I didn't hurt her. I didn't do any of this. Then how did she get that bruise? Dad demanded. I don't know. Maybe she did it to herself. The words hung in the air. Emma's eyes went wide, her mouth dropping open. You think I would hurt myself just to frame you? You really think I'm that crazy? Yes. I was shouting now, desperate and terrified. Yes, because you do this. You've been doing this for years. You lie and they always believe you. Dad took a step toward me. That's enough. Sarah, is this true? Have you been bullying your sister? Making her life miserable because you're jealous? No. God, no. Please, just listen to me. Emma is lying. She's been lying about me since we were kids and you never. I've heard enough. Dad's fist hit the mantel so hard a picture frame fell over. I have heard enough of your excuses and your accusations. They're not excuses. They're the truth. The truth? Mom's voice cracked. The truth is that we have proof, Sarah. We have messages, we have witnesses, we have your sister's bruises. What do you have? More lies? More blame. I have the truth, I whispered, but my voice was so small now. So broken. Please. You have to believe me. Emma sobbed into her hands, the perfect picture of a victim. I looked at her, really looked at her, and for just a moment, she looked back. Her eyes weren't crying anymore. They were clear. Cold. Calculating. You're lying, I said to her, barely audible. I'm not, she said, and her voice didn't shake at all. Yes, you are. You made all of this up because Tyler doesn't like you back. Because you're jealous that he asked me for help instead of you. Because. Enough. Dad's voice exploded through the room. I don't want to hear another word from you. You're sick. Something is seriously wrong with you, and we can't. I can't. He pointed to the front door, his hand shaking. I want you out of my house. Now. The snow was coming down heavy outside. The temperature was dropping by the minute. Dad, it's a blizzard out there. I don't care. Where am I supposed to go? That's not my problem anymore. His face twisted into something I didn't recognize. Pack your things and get out. I don't want a liar like you under my roof. I don't want to look at you. The words felt like physical blows. Liar. Sick. Wrong. Unwanted. I looked at Mom, begging her silently. Say something. Stop him. Tell him this is insane. She turned away, kept her arm around Emma, and said nothing. I grabbed my winter coat from the closet, my hands shaking so badly I could barely zip it. Stuffed my phone, my wallet, a hat into my pockets. The door slammed behind me, and through the window, I could see them. Emma had stopped crying. She was watching me leave, and she was smiling. The cold hit me like a wall. The snow was already 6 inches deep and still falling. I stood on the porch for maybe 30 seconds, waiting for the door to open, for Dad to come after me and say he'd overreacted, that we could talk this through. The door stayed closed. I started walking. No plan, no destination, just away. Away from that house, away from Emma's lies, away from parents who thought I was sick and broken and wrong. My phone buzzed. Battery at 12%. I pulled it out with numb fingers, tried calling my friend Melissa. No answer. Called Rachel. Straight to voicemail. It was Friday night. Everyone was home with their families, safe and warm. Everyone except me. The wind cut through my coat like it was made of paper. Snow came down so thick I could barely see 10 feet ahead. Cars passed, spraying slush, but none of them stopped. The public library was 2 miles away. If I could make it there, I could wait inside until I figured out what to do. Halfway there, I realized it would be closed. It was after 9 on a Friday night in a snowstorm. Of course it was closed. The bus station. That was 4 miles away, but it would be open. It had to be open. I could sit in the waiting area, stay warm, charge my phone, think. I just had to make it 4 miles. My feet were already numb. My fingers ached even inside my gloves. But I walked. Every step was an effort. Snow filled my shoes, soaked through my jeans. The wind pushed against me like it was trying to force me back to that house. I thought about turning around. Knocking on the door. Begging them to let me back in, promising to admit to things I hadn't done, just to get warm again. But the look on Dad's face. The disgust. The word sick said like I was diseased. I couldn't unsee that. Maybe he was right. Maybe something was wrong with me. Why else would my own family choose Emma's lies over my truth every single time? The bus station was still 3 miles away. The snow got heavier, the wind stronger, the cold sharper. I didn't see the alley until I was already turning into it. I thought it was a shortcut. Thought I could cut through to the main street and save 10 minutes. I was wrong. There were 3 of them. Men, maybe in their 20s, standing around a barrel fire. They saw me, and something in their expressions changed. "Hey," one of them called out. "You lost, little girl?" I turned to run, but my feet were so numb I stumbled. One of them grabbed my coat, yanked me backward. I tried to scream, but a hand clamped over my mouth. "Wallet," one of them said. "Phone. Now." I fumbled for my pockets with shaking hands. Gave them my phone, my wallet with its $23. "That's it?" He shoved me hard. I fell into the snow. "That's all you got?" "Please," I whispered. "I don't have anything else." One of them kicked me. Pain exploded in my ribs. Another kick. I curled into a ball, tried to protect my head. I heard them laughing. Heard their footsteps crunching in the snow as they walked away, still laughing. I don't know how long I lay there. Long enough for the snow to start covering me. Long enough for the cold to stop hurting and start feeling warm. That's when I knew I was in trouble. When cold feels warm, you're dying. I tried to stand. Couldn't. Tried to crawl. Made it maybe 5 feet before I collapsed again. I thought about Emma, warm in our house. I thought about my parents, probably already removing my pictures from the walls. I thought, this is how I die. Alone in an alley because my sister lied and no one believed me. That's when I heard footsteps. Different footsteps. Running. Oh my God. Oh my God, there's someone here. A woman's voice. Panicked. I felt hands on my shoulders, rolling me over gently. Felt someone checking my pulse. "Sweetie, can you hear me? Can you open your eyes?" I managed to flutter my eyes open. The woman leaning over me had dark hair, a kind face. She looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. "We need an ambulance," she was saying into her phone. Corner of 5th and Morrison. Young girl, maybe 15. She's been assaulted. Hypothermia. Hurry. She took off her own coat, wrapped it around me. "Stay with me, okay? Help is coming." "What's your name?" "Sarah," I whispered. My lips were so numb I could barely form the word. "Okay, Sarah. I'm Catherine. I'm going to stay right here with you. You're going to be okay." "My parents," I managed. They don't. "Don't what, honey?" "Don't want me." The words took all my energy. They said, "I'm a liar." Told me to leave. I saw something change in her face. Recognition. Horror. "You're the girl from my biology class. The one who asked about education reform." I nodded slightly. "Why are you out here?" Her voice was gentle but urgent. "What happened?" "My sister lied. They believed her. Kicked me out." I started shaking uncontrollably. "Said I'm sick. Said they don't want me." "Oh, sweetheart." Her voice broke. "You're going to be okay. I promise. I'm not leaving you." Sirens in the distance, getting closer. Catherine's face was the last thing I saw before everything went black. I don't remember the ambulance. Don't remember arriving at the hospital. My first clear memory is waking up in a hospital bed with tubes in my arms and machines beeping. The room was too bright. Everything hurt. A voice nearby. Catherine's voice. She has severe hypothermia, 3 broken ribs, a concussion. She was assaulted and left in the snow. She's lucky to be alive. Another voice, official. We need to contact her parents. They're the ones who put her there. My parents arrived maybe an hour later. I heard them before I saw them. We're Sarah Mitchell's parents. Dad's voice, strained and formal. I'm Dr. Catherine Hayes. Catherine's voice had gone cold. I found your daughter in an alley last night. She'd been beaten and robbed. She was hypothermic. Do you understand what that means? She was dying. Silence. Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, I need you to explain to me why your 15-year-old daughter was alone in a blizzard at night. More silence. It was a misunderstanding, Mom finally said, her voice weak. A family matter. A misunderstanding? Catherine's voice rose. Your daughter told me before she lost consciousness that you kicked her out. That you told her she was a liar and you didn't want her anymore. She told me this while she was freezing to death. So please, explain the misunderstanding. You don't understand the situation, Dad said. Then help me understand. Because from where I'm standing, you committed child endangerment at minimum. That's not, we didn't intend. Intend? You threw a child out into a blizzard. What did you think would happen? Emma's voice, small and scared. She's lying. Sarah lies about everything. Your sister was barely conscious when I found her, Catherine said, her voice razor-sharp now. She wasn't lying. She was dying. And I need to know why. I tried to open my eyes, managed to flutter them. Saw shapes moving. Catherine noticed immediately. Everyone out. Now. She's our daughter, Dad protested. And I'm the doctor in this room. Out. All of you. Now. I heard footsteps, voices fading, a door closing. Catherine's hand touched mine, warm and gentle. You're safe now, Sarah. I promise. You're safe. I wanted to believe her. But I hadn't felt safe in so long, I didn't know what it felt like anymore. I closed my eyes and let the darkness take me back. When I woke up again 2 days later, my parents were gone. Catherine was still there. She'd kept her word. She hadn't left me alone. Catherine exposed me to a world I'd never seen. University lectures, research seminars, dinners with professors talking about policy and education and changing systems. Knowledge is power, she'd tell me. Education is freedom. Nobody can ever take that from you once you have it. I threw myself into school with everything I had. Straight A's weren't just grades anymore. They were proof. Proof I wasn't sick. Wasn't broken. Wasn't the problem. Catherine taught me about college applications, about scholarships, about programs designed for students from difficult backgrounds. You're going to do something important someday, she told me one night over dinner. I can see it in you. You're going to help people. I thought about my old family sometimes. Wondered if Emma ever told the truth. If Dad ever regretted those words. If Mom ever stood up for me. But mostly, I didn't think about them at all. I heard things through mutual friends. Emma was fine, still the golden child, still the center of attention. My parents had taken down all my photos like I'd never existed. Good, I thought. Let them erase me. I'm building something better. By senior year, I had a plan. College, major in education policy, create something that would help kids who got lost in the cracks. Kids whose families failed them. I was going to turn my pain into purpose. That's exactly what I did. College was 4 years of late nights and hard work and slowly learning to trust again. I got a full ride to Oregon State. Catherine's recommendation letter was glowing. I majored in education policy, minored in social work. I wanted to understand why some kids got help while others fell through cracks wide enough to swallow them whole. Summers, I interned at nonprofits, advocacy groups, policy organizations. Learned how funding worked, how programs started, how to turn empathy into action. I graduated summa cum laude. Catherine cried at my ceremony, told me she'd never been more proud of anything in her life. I got hired immediately at Portland State's Education Department. Catherine's university, different building, but still connected. At 24, I had an idea. A scholarship fund for students from difficult family situations. Kids who'd been kicked out, abused, neglected. Kids who needed a second chance. I called it the Phoenix Scholars Program. Catherine helped me write the grant proposals. We secured funding from 5 organizations, launched at 1 university as a pilot. Then 3 universities. Then 7. By the time I was 26, we'd awarded nearly $300,000 in scholarships. Helped 63 students stay in school, stay alive, stay hopeful. Media started paying attention. Local news, education journals, policy conferences. I gave interviews, always told my story vaguely. Never named names. Just said I was a kid who got thrown away and someone caught me before I hit the ground. One afternoon, my colleague Marcus stopped by my office. "Sarah, you're being considered for a keynote address. Major graduation ceremony." "Which school?" "Willamette University." My stomach dropped. That was Emma's school. I'd seen her posts. She was graduating this spring. "I have a sister there," I said quietly. Marcus blinked. "You have a sister?" "Had." Past tense. "She graduates in May. Do you want me to decline on your behalf?" I stared at my desk, at the scholarship applications stacked neatly, at the photos of students we'd helped. 63 kids. 63 second chances born from being thrown away. What's the ceremony theme? Resilience. The university president specifically requested you. Said your work embodies everything they want students to understand about perseverance. My work. The program born from freezing in an alley. From being called sick. From being erased. Would I have full control over my speech? Complete control. They just want you there. I thought about Emma sitting in her cap and gown, probably telling everyone about her perfect supportive family, her wonderful parents, her only child privileges. I thought about my parents in the audience, proud and oblivious. I thought about standing on that stage and finally telling the truth. Not for revenge. For closure. "I need to talk to Catherine," I said. That night, over dinner, I explained everything. They have no idea I exist like this. No idea I built this program. They probably think I'm dead or homeless or worse. Catherine set down her fork, looked at me carefully. "What do you want to happen?" "I want to close this chapter properly. Not with anger. With honesty." I met her eyes. They hurt me. I'm not doing this for revenge. I'm doing this because my story matters. Because showing them who I became despite them, that's not vindictive. That's truth. Catherine reached across the table. Then do it on your terms. Head high. Show them exactly who you are now. I called Marcus the next morning. Tell them I accept. I didn't stalk Emma on social media, but her posts appeared sometimes. Her senior year documented in carefully filtered photos and captions. Can't believe I'm graduating in 2 months. So grateful for my amazing parents who supported me every step of the way. Blessed. Family first. The comments poured in praising her, congratulating her parents, celebrating her. No mention of a sister. In her digital world, I'd never existed. Through old acquaintances, I heard Emma was excited about graduation. Big ceremony, all her friends coming, parents throwing a party. The keynote speaker is supposed to be really impressive, someone posted. Some researcher who started a scholarship program. Should be inspiring. Emma had replied, "Those speeches are always so boring." Whatever. It's my day anyway. I screenshot that. Saved it. Not for revenge. For proof that she had no idea what was coming. I wrote my speech over 3 weeks. Drafted it, revised it, practiced it alone in my apartment and out loud to Catherine dozens of times. Don't name them, Catherine advised. Tell your story. Let people connect the dots. The speech opened with statistics about educational inequity. Then shifted personal. At 15, I was told I didn't belong. That I was broken. That my family would be better without me. I practiced in the mirror, kept my face calm, professional. But someone saw potential instead of problems. Someone gave me a second chance. That changed everything. No tears, no anger. Just facts. Just truth. The night before, I couldn't sleep. Lay in bed thinking about Emma, about Dad saying liar, about Mom turning away. Was I doing this for the right reasons? Catherine came in with tea, sat on my bed. Second thoughts? Just thoughts, I said. Remember tomorrow that you're not the girl they threw away. You're the woman who built herself back up despite them. Morning came fast. I dressed carefully. Black suit, professional but elegant. Catherine's grandmother's sapphire pendant. In the mirror, I looked confident, successful. Nothing like the frozen 15-year-old left to die in an alley. I was ready. The ceremony was at 11. I arrived early, met President Chen in her office. Ms. Mitchell, we're deeply honored. Your work is extraordinary. The auditorium was massive, filling with families and graduates. I stayed backstage, watched through the curtains. Catherine arrived, found a seat near the front, caught my eye and nodded. You've got this. I scanned the program. Found her name. Emma Mitchell, Bachelor of Arts, Communications. My heart pounded. Marcus appeared. You okay? Yes, I said. Ready? President Chen touched my shoulder. 3 minutes. You're on after the opening remarks. I could see the stage from the wings. The podium, the microphone, hundreds of faces. Somewhere out there, my parents were sitting down, excited for Emma's big moment, with no idea who would be speaking. The program listed my name in small print at the bottom. Most people didn't read speaker bios carefully. They were about to. President Chen stepped to the podium. The crowd quieted. Welcome, graduates, families, honored guests. Today we celebrate achievement and resilience. Applause. Our keynote speaker embodies these values. She's dedicated her career to ensuring every student has access to opportunity. Please welcome the founder of Phoenix Scholars, Ms. Sarah Mitchell. The auditorium erupted in applause. I stepped into the light. The stage was huge. Beyond the lights, I could see faces blurring into a sea of caps and gowns. I walked with measured steps, my heels clicking on the stage floor. Then I saw them. Emma in the third row, honor cords around her neck, clapping absently, whispering to the girl next to her. Then she glanced up and saw me. Her hands froze mid-clap. Her smile vanished. Confusion, then recognition, then shock washed over her face. Her mouth opened. No sound came out. Behind her, 5 rows back, Mom and Dad were still clapping politely, not looking closely yet. Just applauding a speaker whose name hadn't registered. I reached the podium. Adjusted the microphone. Looked out over the crowd. Emma's face had gone white. She was staring, frozen. Catherine sat front row, nodded once. I gripped the podium. Good morning. Thank you, President Chen. My voice carried clearly across the auditorium. Dad's head jerked up. He leaned forward, squinting, trying to place my voice. Mom's hand went to her throat. I smiled professionally. It's an honor to be here. Today I want to talk about survival. About what happens when you lose everything and build yourself anyway. The audience settled into attentive silence. Let me tell you about a 15-year-old girl, I said, keeping my voice steady. She was told she was broken. That she was a liar. That her family would be better off without her. Mom gripped Dad's arm. I could see it from the stage. One night, in the middle of a snowstorm, she was forced out of her home. Told to leave. Told she wasn't wanted. Whispers started rippling through the crowd. Uncomfortable shifting. She wandered alone in that storm trying to find shelter. She was attacked. Beaten. Robbed. left unconscious in an alley to freeze to death. Madison had gone completely still. Her face was white as paper. But someone found her. Someone helped. Someone saw potential where everyone else saw problems. Catherine's eyes were bright. That person became her mentor, her mother in every way that mattered. I paused, let the words settle. That 15-year-old girl was me. Complete silence. Dad half stood. Mom pulled him back down. Both staring, mouths open. Emma looked like she wanted to disappear. Students around her were whispering, pointing. I'm here today because Dr. Catherine Hayes, I gestured to Catherine, didn't give up on me when my own family did. More whispers spreading like wildfire. The Phoenix Scholars Program was born from that experience. It exists for students who've been told they're not enough. Who've been dismissed, abandoned, cast aside. I looked directly at Emma. Made eye contact. Because being rejected doesn't define you. What you build afterward does. A woman in the back whispered loudly, is that her family? I continued, steady and clear. That program has now helped 63 students. Students like the girl I used to be. I paused. I learned something important in those years. Family isn't always biology. Sometimes it's choice. It's the people who choose you when others walk away. Catherine wiped her eyes. I learned you don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need one person. One person who sees past the accusations, past the lies. Emma's face crumpled. She looked down, shoulders shaking. Her friends had stopped whispering. They were staring at her now. And I learned, I gripped the podium, that success isn't proving people wrong. It's building something meaningful despite them. Dad's hands were trembling. Mom was crying silently, mascara running. So to the graduating class, I leave you with this, your worth is not determined by who stays. It's determined by how you grow after they leave. I paused. You will face rejection. People who underestimate you. That's guaranteed. I looked across the graduates. But you get to decide what happens next. You get to choose who you become. The standing ovation started slowly, then built. Students standing, faculty, families. Not everyone. Dad stayed seated, face in his hands. Mom stood mechanically, clapping weakly through tears. Emma didn't move. Just stared at her lap. I stepped back. President Chun was beaming. Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. That was powerful. I walked off stage and finally breathed. The ceremony continued, but the energy had shifted. When they called Emma's name, her applause was thin, scattered. Some didn't clap at all. I slipped out a side door, met Catherine in the reception area. You did it, she said, hugging me. How do you feel? I thought about it. Free. Marcus appeared. Sarah, that was, your family is asking to see you. They're at the side entrance. My stomach tightened. Do I have to? Absolutely not. No. I'll talk to them. 5 minutes. On my terms. Catherine squeezed my hand. I'll be right here. I walked toward them, toward the family I'd left behind 12 years ago. They stood near a pillar. Dad looked gray. Mom's makeup was smeared. Emma hovered behind them, eyes red. I stopped several feet away. You wanted to talk? Dad's mouth opened and closed. Sarah, we had no idea you'd be here. I'm sure you didn't. You look well, Mom said, not meeting my eyes. I am. Dr. Hayes made sure of that. Catherine stood slightly behind me, protective. We owe you an apology, Dad said. You owe me more than that. But an apology is a start. We made a terrible mistake, Mom whispered. We should have listened. You should have protected me. That's what parents do. My voice was calm. You chose Emma's lies over my truth. You called me a liar. Threw me out in a blizzard. Emma flinched. We were wrong, Dad said, voice cracking. I've regretted that night every single day. Good, I said gently. Not cruel. Just honest. Can we talk privately? Mom reached toward me. As a family? We're not a family. You made that clear 12 years ago. But we can fix it, Dad said desperately. We want to fix it. There's nothing to fix. You made your choice. I made mine. Sarah, Emma's voice broke. I'm sorry. I was 12. I was stupid. You were old enough to know. And you kept lying for 12 years. That wasn't childhood. That's who you chose to be. Emma started sobbing. Marcus appeared with a folder. Sarah, the scholarship applications for next semester. President Chen wanted you to have them. He handed me the folder with my title printed clearly. Dad stared. You really did all this? Yes. Despite everything. Mom took the folder gently, opened it. Her face crumpled as she read. We had no idea, she whispered. You never asked. You erased me. President Chen joined us, oblivious. Ms. Mitchell, best keynote in years. Are you Sarah's family? You must be so proud. Silence. They are, Catherine said smoothly. President Chen beamed. Your daughter has changed lives. She shook my hand, walked away. Emma's friends approached. Emma, is that true? Is she really your sister? Emma nodded, couldn't speak. You said you were an only child. Last year you told us she died in a car accident. My eyebrows rose. You told them I was dead? It was easier, Emma whispered. Easier than what? Admitting what you did? Her friends looked at me. We're so sorry this happened to you. They walked away from Emma. She stood alone, watching them leave. I wanted to tell the truth so many times, Emma said. But I was scared everyone would hate me. Maybe they should, I said quietly. I forgive you for my own peace. But I don't want a relationship. Respect that. Can't we just? No. Mom pulled Emma close. I looked at Catherine. Can we go? Yes. Let's go home. We walked away. Behind us, I heard Emma crying, Dad saying my name weakly. I kept walking. Didn't look back. The week after, my phone exploded. Voicemails from Dad. Emails from Mom. Long, rambling explanations about stress and misunderstandings. I didn't respond. The ceremony went viral. My speech was posted online. Hundreds of thousands of views. Comments flooded in, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Family is who shows up. I'm crying. Work got busier. Applications tripled. 5 more universities wanted partnerships. Conference invitations poured in. Through Emma's former friends, I learned her social life was crumbling. People were uninviting her from events, distancing themselves. Part of me felt bad. Most of me felt nothing. Just relief. 2 weeks later, Dad showed up at my office. My assistant buzzed. There's a Mr. Mitchell here. He doesn't have an appointment. Give me 5 minutes. Then send him in. Dad walked in looking ancient. Gray, hunched, diminished. Thank you for seeing me. I have a meeting in 20 minutes. He sat across from my desk. We were wrong. I was wrong. What I did to you was unforgivable. Yes. It was. Can you forgive us? I leaned back. Forgiveness isn't the issue. Trust is. And that's shattered beyond repair. What can I do? Nothing. It's too late. 3 days later, Emma emailed. Subject, I'm sorry. I almost deleted it but opened it instead. Sarah, I was jealous. You were smart and capable and I had to work for every bit of attention. When Tyler liked you, I snapped. I planned everything. The screenshots, the bruise, all of it. I knew they'd believe me. I didn't think Dad would actually throw you out. When I saw you walking into that storm, I felt sick. But I couldn't take it back. I destroyed your life and mine. I lost my job offer because someone told HR about graduation. I'm not asking forgiveness. I just want you to know I'm sorry. I read it twice. Saved it. Didn't respond. She sent 4 more emails over the next week. After the 5th, I replied, Emma, I accept you were young. But you had 12 years to correct it. I forgive you for my peace, but I don't want contact. Respect that. She stopped emailing. My program kept growing. We helped more students. Changed more lives. The state education board sent a commendation. And through it all, I saw the ripples. Emma's social media went private. Dad sent one final email, we're proud of you even if we have no right to be. I didn't respond. 1 year later, my life looked completely different. Phoenix Scholars was now in 15 universities. We'd helped 97 students. I was promoted again, got national recognition, was invited to speak at policy conferences. Catherine turned 61. We threw a party with colleagues and students she'd mentored. People who loved her. Chosen family. I gave a toast to the woman who taught me family is built, not born. Thank you for choosing me. She cried happy tears. I thought about my biological family sometimes. Not often. Not painfully. Just wondered where they were, if Emma got help, if Dad still sent unanswered emails. They sent a holiday card with no return address. Just signatures. I put it in a drawer. Didn't throw it away. Didn't respond. Just acknowledged it existed. I spoke at another graduation with a similar message about boundaries and resilience. Afterward, a young woman approached crying. That was my story too. My family kicked me out at 16. You're not alone, I told her. You're surviving. That's enough. She hugged me. I drove home to the house I shared with Catherine, my real mother, and felt complete peace. People ask if I regret that night. I don't. It led me here. To this life, this work, this chosen family. Not everyone gets this lucky. I know that. But everyone can set boundaries. Everyone can choose who has access to them. You don't owe toxic people your presence just because they're blood. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. You can forgive for your peace while keeping them out of your life. Blood doesn't make family. Choice does. Showing up does. Catherine showed up every day for 12 years. My biological parents showed up once, failed, never tried again. Success isn't proving people wrong. It's building something meaningful despite them. Phoenix Scholars wasn't revenge. It was purpose. Turning pain into something that helps others. Your worth isn't determined by who stays. It's determined by how you grow after they leave. Some people will always underestimate you, reject you, tell you you're broken. That's their limitation, not yours. You decide what happens next. I chose to help kids like me. Kids who need second chances. Kids who deserve to know they're worth saving. That's my legacy. Not the family who threw me away, but the one I built afterward. I'm 27 now. My parents' names are still in my phone. I haven't deleted them, haven't called. They exist in my past, not my present or future. Emma messages every few months. Short. Apologetic. I read them. Don't respond. Maybe someday. Maybe not. Either way is fine. Dr. Catherine Hayes is mom now. The person I call with good news. The one whose opinion matters. Blood didn't make her my mother. 13 years of showing up did. That's family. Every year on December 19th, the anniversary, I drive past my old house. Not to punish myself. Just to remember. I park across the street, look at those windows, and think, that girl survived. She survived being called a liar, being thrown away, being told she was too broken to love. And she didn't just survive. She thrived. If you're in a storm right now, you can survive it. You can thrive after it. Just because someone gives up on you doesn't mean you give up on yourself. Set boundaries. Choose your family. Build your purpose. Never let anyone tell you you're too broken or too much. You're exactly enough. Thank you for staying until the end.